We are here at the Partners in Property event. We're in Bredbury, which is near Manchester, and I'm actually going to be doing a talk today, so I'm super excited for that. And I'm going to show you the full talk that I do. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, and also, if anyone is interested in doing a joint venture with myself, then make sure to get in contact.
So they come to us as Microsoft and go, why is Microsoft involved? COVID forced their hands to look at technology.
Recognised, do you see in your role the use of blockchain and tokenization coming through?
We've got a corporation going through, fingers crossed.
My name's Luigi, specialise in HMOs. I've got a few serviced accommodations. I've got 5 projects I'm finishing this month, all HMOs.
Free weather is not so free anymore.
Right guys, I'm about to go on and do my talk. I'm feeling good. I'm excited to get going. There's some real serious people in this room, so it's good to be around this kind of people. Smash this stuff.
The bin lot he's gone through. Talk, Luigi's come all the way from Nottingham.
Hey everybody, just wanted to say I love this. It seems like lots of people here are really passionate about property, which is great to be around because a lot of the time I'm always trying to get in the right rooms of people. I know you probably heard the saying, surround yourself with successful people and the right people. So this is definitely what you guys are doing. And I think it's really refreshing. I would love to pick a lot of you guys' brains, after this. But I'm here today to kind of tell you a little bit about my story, some of, the ups and downs of property that I've faced, which I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to as well. Just to be fully transparent here, I've got 9 properties in the portfolio at the moment, currently buying 5 more. The ones that I do have, they're all HMOs except for one of them, which is a serviced accommodation. I have had more properties, but I've sold a few so I can move it into different types of deals. But the HMOs that I do have, they are a mixture between working professional tenant type. I have some which are supported accommodations. I like those ones because they cover my bills. So I know obviously energy prices are really increasing at the moment. So that's nice. It helps me sleep good at night knowing that, yeah, cool. I don't have to worry about a few of them. So I think about 3 of them are supported accommodations. And then the rest are working professionals. I also have ones which are a mixture between working professionals and DSS type of tenants. So I'm very flexible with my tenant type. Typically how I structure my deals, meet somebody, they'll have some funds available, and what I'll basically do is they will fund 100% of the deal. So this is the purchase price, any costs involved with the deal. They will fund it all, and what I'll do is I'll do all the work. So I'll go out there, I'll find the property, I'll manage the full refurbishments, I'll manage the property managers on the back end. So that's like a long-term commitment from myself, and then we'll split the profit 50-50. But going back to me, when I was 21, or 19, 20, 21, I was working full-time in a call center, selling insurance for people's Sky equipment, so for their Sky boxes, protecting people's TVs. I started that job just so I could get a mortgage, because I was doing self-employed support work. I was a support worker for disabled people. I liked certain aspects of it, but I knew I wanted to build a property portfolio. So my first deal, I purchased a 4-bedroom house for 125. This was about 5 years ago, and it was below market value. It was a desperate seller. That is what I was looking for, just from studying and watching YouTube, reading books. I knew that you can buy a property for less than it's worth. So I viewed probably around 30, maybe more houses before I actually bought the first one. So it was worth about 150, bought it for 125. I was able to refinance it and pull out a big chunk of money from that. I think it was around 18,000. I purchased it on a residential mortgage, and I used that money to put it into my second deal. And then I actually started working with small investors on a fixed return, kept refinancing and buying more. So using the BRRR strategy, which I still use to this day. I really love that strategy. I find it fun. I like to do the transformations of the property. That's kind of how I built the portfolio. Then I started to do joint ventures on my 4th deal. So my deal number 4 was a joint venture, and partner funded 100% of that deal. This is one deal that I did. Purchased this property, 4-bedroom terrace house, converted it into a 6-bedroom HMO. A lot of the time, that is my typical deal that I'll do. I'll buy something, I like to keep it very simple, buy a property that's big enough to have 6 bedrooms, more than enough communal space, and a good sized kitchen, and 2 to 3 communal bathrooms. That's my typical deal type. This one, bought it for 145 around 2 years ago. This was the deposit, stamp duty, refurb cost was £32,000. Bear in mind, this was 2 years ago. If I did this exact deal now we're looking at 45, maybe 48, because material prices, I personally can really see the effect of it. Prices have really jumped up. Refurbs now are costing a lot more than they did for myself. I don't know if some of you guys are facing the same issues. Bridging costs, roughly £10,000. And yeah, the monthly net profit was £1,796. This one is a mix between working professionals and a few DSS tenants. So the total cash investment was £86,150. I've just not updated this. We got it refinanced at 280, and we was able to pull out all the money on this particular deal. It's what you call all money out. Now, me, I do YouTube, so I've showcased this deal on YouTube. I've set the wrong expectation because people, now, when people approach me now, yeah. So when people approach me now, it's, whoa, Luigi, you've done this. Like, yeah, I want to do that too. I want to work with you. Let's go. But then I have to really just calm it down, set the expectation realistically, because it's not realistic to all the time do these type of deals. Love to do them, don't get me wrong. And yeah, I do try and find these type of deals. But like with this one, the market really helped me because I bought it, I think it was mid-corona when the prices were just shooting up. So that same 145, ones were selling for, 190 for the same type of property, a year after I bought this one, just because of the price increase that we had. If some of you guys are working with investors now, working with joint venture partners, one tip I would say, because I've got roughly about 8 partners now, one tip I would say is manage the expectation as much as you can. But some people will just not listen. That's what I've found, Some people as well will never be happy. You could do a deal with them like this, but they still want more and more and more. So that's one thing I've learned, is just to really manage the expectation as much as you can, but some things are out of your control. I think YouTube, I'm not gonna name names, but we have lots of people that are trainers selling courses, and yeah, they do make it out to be easy. But the reality is, it is fucking hard to do this kind of stuff. So that's what it's all about. I think it's about managing expectations with anyone that reaches out to me that wants to work with me. Because yeah, I do work with partners. I'm open to working with new partners, but it's got to be a win-win for us both. Build teams is basically stress. Using builders, working with builders has been very stressful. Trying to find the right builders, trying to find the right teams, putting together your own team. I've just decided now, I want as much control as I can when it comes to that. So I've done a few projects where you hand over the keys to the team and you try and trust them with it and say, right, crack on. But what I've found with that is delays. I've just had really long delays. Whereas if I'm doing it trade by trade and I'm managing my own tradespeople, I can be onto them, If they're being slow, right, cool, pull you off and get someone else in. So when I'm trying to scale, this has been one issue I've been working with, but it's just a case of me growing my team so we can manage multiple teams of builders. On the 3-bed house to a 6-bedroom house conversion, or a 4-bedroom house to a 6-bed conversion, we try and keep it as simple as we can. When we want to do the bigger ones, like I'm doing an 8-bedroom HMO at the moment, then it did require a double-story extension. When it comes to interior design, that is an aspect I do enjoy. I always told myself at the start, I was like, I'm rubbish at this, I cannot furnish a room or a HMO. But then over time, your confidence starts to build and you realize, yeah, you can do it. So I just like to put feature walls. I have a company that I use called Sublime Furnishings, and they'll build all the furniture. We're talking hang the mirrors, build the beds, wardrobes, desks, everything. I think that's one thing people forget. I think property is definitely a relationship-based game. You know, make friends with people, you know, connect with people. That's what I try and do. So, made friends with this old guy. Turns out he has 3 on the same road. So, I agreed to purchase all 3 from him. I said, right, how much do you want to sell me them for? He said, £170,000. That is massively below market value. So I was like, cool, I'll pay that. So I was like, right, that's fine, let's do that. But yeah, it worked really well, guys. It worked really well. Purchased it for 170. I can't really see those figures there, but I know I spent roughly around £62,000 on it. That refurb was a complete headache. I did that in the midst of lockdown, so there was, you know, lots to deal with there. But it worked out, and we got it valued. We had one down value of 250. When I got that value, I was like, no. I know how much the properties are selling for on this road that are HMOs. They're selling for 400K. So immediately I got a second valuation. Yeah, 330. So there we go. Valued at 330, and we pulled out £123,000, 700. And we only invested 122. So we pulled out more money than we actually put in. The rent on this one is very good. We're getting around £43,000. It's student, so there's no council tax, but there is still the energy bills. But that's okay. Another, I'd say, tip with the joint ventures is make sure whoever you're working with has experience, because the partner on this deal, it was his first one, and he became very stressed. I'm sure some of you guys remember what it was like doing your first project. Stress, right? Because it's the unknown, it's the not knowing of things cost extra. Although he had the money, if things went overrun, because I'd always check that before doing any deal, that there is a contingency there if we need it, it was still very stressful because he was on my back too much. So that's a big learning lesson for myself, was only do joint ventures with people that have property experience. They know how the game works. My preferred partner, business partner, is someone, when I'm doing a joint venture, which will put up all the funds. They require updates. We get on really well. We have very open, honest communication. You know, we have a good relationship there where if things go wrong, we can talk, but they're not gonna get stressed, and they're not just gonna start being crazy. They're gonna stay calm, and they're gonna just say, all right, I understand the game. So that's my preferred investor type, to be honest. But yeah, so this is some before and afters. Again, the interior, we tried to just make them look really nice. This is a student property. It doesn't cost me that much more to make a room look way better just by taking a bit of time to do the design, choosing the colours, choose some nice feature wall colours and things like that. It only probably cost me a few £100 more per room to actually furnish it to a nicer level. So I definitely would recommend, if anyone is doing HMOs, just please make sure we are furnishing them to a high level. Even if it's for supported housing, or, you know, if it's for DSS tenants, I still think it will really help. Of course, we want tenants to feel happy in where they live. Of course, this is something I'm really big on. So now, when I'm doing feature wall colours, I'm looking at things like mental health, right? What colours are good for mental health? Because, you know, today's society, there's lots of mental health issues that happen. So I think us as landlords, it's about being aware of that, and right, what can we put in the properties to help people with their mental health and things like that. Some of the other deals that we're doing, this one, we actually got rejected for planning for the 9-person HMO. But big lessons learned on that one about using the right planning consultants. My planning consultant on this one, because it went to committee, so we applied for a 7-bedroom HMO. Our backup is, right, we'll just do a 6-bedroom HMO. It went to committee, and before the meeting, he said to me and my team, he was like, guys, I don't think we're gonna win it. And I was like, oh, well, I appreciate that, but I want someone to be like, look, you know, I'm gonna try my hardest to win here. It was like he was kind of defeated, and when he was doing his speech, he was kind of defeated, and he missed out a lot of the points which, you know, we really wanted to get across. This one right here, this one is finishing this week. So that is a 4-bedroom house that I've converted into a 6-bedroom HMO. The monthly profit on this one is going to be £2,300 net profit on one 6-bedroom HMO. Reason being is because it's going to a supported accommodation provider. Contract's all ready to go. They're taking that on the 21st, so next week. So all my guys are there today finishing this one off. So yeah, this one, Enval, I've got a very similar property around the corner. Got that valued at 280, and that's a 6-bedroom HMO, but this one will be producing a lot more income. But I'm expecting the Enval on this one about 280, but I bought it for 175, and I'm spending about 80k on it. So on this one, should be able to pull out roughly about 60% of my initial investment, which for me, I'm happy with that. Some people, they want to go, they want to pull out 80% or 100% of their money for them to keep it. But for me, with the net profit that this one will produce, I am not trying to sell this one. If I need to free up capital, I'd rather sell one of my less performing assets just to keep this one because of the net profit per month. I'd say my biggest challenges have been construction. That has been my biggest challenge. And as well, being patient, I remember when I started out, I was so impatient with, right, Luigi, you need to get more. But I realized everything has its timing. And sometimes when you just try and relax and just be grateful for the ones you do have, more will just come. More partners will come. And it's been a constant flow of people wanting to work with me. And I think one question I often get is, how do you find joint venture partners and investors? I'll be completely honest here. For me, it's been YouTube. I've been documenting my journey. I've always been as honest as I can be and been fully transparent with my journey. And I think that's really helped. My biggest compliment people say to me is, oh, you're very real, you're very genuine. I like how you share the good and the bad. So that's helped me on YouTube a lot because, as we were saying, a lot of people want to make it out to be so easy and quick and fast and overnight success. Whereas I've said, look, this is what I'm doing. These are my projects. And if you want to have a conversation, then let's talk. So it's been the same voice that I've kept using, and I think it has worked well for me. So Instagram, YouTube, they are very powerful tools. If you do want to, work with more people. So I'd say definitely keep that in mind if anyone's looking to kind of get more people on board within their company. Challenges I'm facing now is, how do I go from doing these HMOs? The biggest project I've done is an 8-bedroom HMO. How do I go from that to, large apartment blocks, which I know some of you guys are involved with. So that is my challenge. And hopefully some of you guys can help me with that. But getting from where I am now to over this side, which is where my gut feeling is saying, this is where you need to go to. Thank you guys so much. We'll be doing a round table, so yeah.
Well, with case studies, because to me it's just bread and butter stuff.
It is expected, this is a bank of England graphic, it is expected to fall away as we go over the next few years.
Okay guys, so we just finished up at the Partners in Property event in Manchester, and honestly guys, it was so good. I'm happy with the talk that I did, met some amazing people, I've learned a lot today. I was actually asking a guy about a particular deal that I was doing, and then I asked someone else about a different deal I was doing, and I got some really great pointers and tips. So PIP, thank you so much, fully recommend those guys. Some great people, and remember to like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned, because this next couple of weeks we've got some crazy progress happening. 5 of the projects should be finished by this month, so stay tuned for the update videos.